What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, getting some D.O.C, man. Taking it back. What's up, everybody? So, Soren Baker here on The Great Debaters. Amir, Rahimi by my side. And today we're getting into D.O.C, Dead Serious, 1992, their debut album. Amazing piece of work. And gotta shout out my boy Jeff Bain from Crofton, Maryland back in the day. My friend Jeff literally played this. It was the only thing in his car. I don't even remember how long because I lost track of time. But my goodness, Jeff, you blew this album up, and everybody ended up, I think, not liking it nearly as much because you played it so much, but it never faded on me. So thank you, Jeff, for playing it so much. So, Amir, for you, what were your initial reactions, thoughts, getting used to what D.O.C is bringing to the table?
I first heard D.O.C back. It was on YouTube, and I remember just seeing these dudes in the sewer and like in music videos, and I don't remember which music video it was because sewer is like, constant theme with D.O.C. If I had to guess, I'd say they want effects. But yeah. This group, when I saw that, and I was like, okay, well, they're clearly, a little more rugged, a little more grimy, and you can tell with their raps and what they're wearing, and like just everything, their whole persona. But to kind of talk about that, They Want Effects is one of my tracks, so I'll get right into there. Extremely catchy song, really, really good, got me hooked right when I heard it. Like I said, I loved the visuals on the actual music video front, and honestly, I said YouTube, but it may have even actually been like MTV or BET or something like that, because I used to watch music videos all the time on TV. So one of those, but point is I saw their music video first. That's how I got into their music, and I was just super drawn to that, number one. And then on top of that, just their whole rhyme scheme with the iggities I thought was super, super fresh, very original. At that time, I hadn't really heard anyone do that.
Yeah.
And they really made their own style. And then obviously the knee bone, the hip bone, the hardy har, like all that was super catchy. And to be honest, a lot of this album, when it comes to the lyricism and the everything that they're rapping about, and this goes for more or less most of my picks, I can't even really get into all of it. I'm just so blown away by how they're rapping, and that's one thing that I think is so remarkable about D.O.C is that you really don't even have to listen to you don't even have to be tuned into everything that they're saying. It's how they're saying it, and how they say it is exceptional, in my opinion. So They Want Effects, that with the chorus, which I really enjoy the chorus of the sample, I thought that was excellent. I thought that was also clever, and it also makes me wonder, I assume that they made the chorus first and then made the verses because that's the name of the song, the theme of the song, They Want Effects. So I thought that was clever, but hey, that's my first pick.
Yes, They Want Effects is also one of my picks, and I think, as I'll explain a little bit later for one of my other picks, yeah, how they said things was more important than what they said in a way, and their style was just so distinctive, as Amir was saying. And I think, too, they were able to bring a different style sonically as well, because the sample they used, Lord Finesse had used on Funky Technician back in the day. But when Lord Finesse used it, the other sonics that they built on Lord Finesse's song, and then with what D.O.C did with the video in the sewer and all this stuff, it had a very different... They Want Effects had a bit of an ominous vibe to it. And you couldn't really understand, you had to decipher so much that was going on, and then the music, especially when they get into the chorus and some of the breaks and stuff on They Want Effects, does give you this kind of horror, dark, macabre, weird, sinister type of feel and vibe that Lord Finesse's song didn't give you. When you add on all those sprinkles and then add on the video and all these other elements. So to me, They Want Effects is a brilliant, brilliant song. I love it. Dre and Scoop just slaughtered it, man. And all their pop culture references, their stylistic variants, and then how the beat changes at different points, I always thought was amazing. And it's I think one of the most distinctive songs in rap of all time, and I would also say one of the more memorable. It's phenomenal, man. I love this song. So, what's your second pick, Amir?
And that's another thing too. I wanted to say the pop culture references on this album always stuck out to me and stick out to me. But aside from that, I'd go with my next pick, which would be Mike Checka. That's also track 1. This song also, obviously, Redman and Method Man used parts of this song on their remake, on their Black Hat album, which I always love when rappers do that. And Redman's done that really throughout his career as well, just paying homage to a bunch of songs, covering, etc. But Mike Checka, just like for the examples that I gave in They Want Effects, I like it for those same reasons. One thing too that I want to mention from this album is I was shocked when I remember reading this years ago, and I had to confirm it again recently, that this album went platinum. And I was shocked not because I don't think it deserves platinum status, because I think this album is actually incredible, original, everything, all the above. But I was shocked because I didn't think that the world would get it. I didn't think that the world would like it. Because I feel like there's a lot of albums that came out around this era that didn't reach even gold,
right,
that are excellent. But this album, I'm so happy that it reached that status. It's songs like Mike Checka, which was also a single, which doesn't have that kind of appeal that a lot of other things had. But to me, I loved it. I'm just happy the world loved it too. So Mike Checka is another one of my picks. It's incredible.
That's one of my picks as well. And I think the thing that made Dead Serious, this album, so amazing was that they totally innovated, introduced, and created a new style that, you know, everyone liked. And one of the more most people liked, I should say, because Common famously kind of dissed them on I Used to Love Her. But maybe coincidentally, maybe not, Ice Cube was one of the many people that loved D.O.C, and then obviously worked with them on Check Yourself, but then also on The Predator. A lot of his style was influenced clearly by D.O.C, and then collaborating with them showed that it wasn't just a coincidental thing. Like, clearly they were influencing people from the opposite side of the country, with Ice Cube in particular, but then many dozens of rhymers started doing kind of what D.O.C did, and that actually strangely hurt D.O.C by the time they were getting ready to come out with their next album. But regardless, Mike Checka to me is so amazing, and my favorite part of the song, I don't know why, I just love it when it goes woo wee. Like, I just love that. I just always love that part. It makes me so happy and excited every time I hear it. Just for the emotional push or whatever it gives you. And I think too, with the album being so distinctive, the other thing that was great about it was, and helped make it platinum in my opinion, was the EPMD affiliation. Yes, they were in the videos, and yes, their imagery helped, and obviously EPMD is one of the best rap groups of all time, and ultimately respected, especially in '92. And the point is, they're not on the album, and that to me is another strong selling point for everything that EPMD was doing in this era, because they were, you know, kind of this big brother, silent partner type of situation with D.O.C, and to me, that always was just incredible. So, Mike Checka is my second pick. What's your third pick, Amir?
Third pick is actually going to be another single. This is Straight Out the Sewer, but like I said, I wouldn't guess that's a single if like I just heard the tracks and then I had to pick the singles. I probably wouldn't have guessed this to be a single, but it's another great one, another one where their flows are exceptional. I really like how it's sticking with the sewer theme as seen in the music videos, as seen as heard throughout the album. Just another one that's great, although I don't think the chorus is as good as like They Want Effects. It's still good. Straight Out the Sewer. On top of that too, one thing I wanted to mention too is Soren and I have discussed this on multiple videos and multiple topics, is that particularly back in these days, there'd be B-sides, there'd be extra songs that wouldn't make it to the album, and you'd have to scour for the singles in order to get those copies, whether on vinyl, cassette, CD, whatever. This Straight Out the Sewer right here, it has remixes on it. It has the East Coast remix also, and then it has Hard Like a Criminal, which wasn't on the album. It was a bonus track, and it's also censored like D.O.C does. But I think that's also interesting to note, because I know a lot of our viewers may not, or some of our viewers may not have heard that song, because I definitely didn't hear it until I picked up the single and I was like, what the heck? But D.O.C, Straight Out the Sewer, being my third pick as well, for the reasons that we discussed earlier. Really love their flows, really like their energy, and like I said, it's just one of those groups that it's a diamond in the rough kind of group, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a great song, and I like how they and Cam used a similar sample, or the same sample in different ways. Cam used it on Peace Treaty, of course, but that's not my third pick. My third pick is Lucy's, because as Amir said earlier in the video, kind of wasn't, some people, or when you listen to it, it's not always as important what they said, but how they said it. So Lucy's, I didn't catch what they were talking about until the 5th, 6th listen of this album. And I was like, wait a minute. These dudes are rapping about how they went to the bathroom on themselves? I was like, this is so crazy. And then you listen to the story, that's just not subject matter that I would ever think about. That I'd be like, man, let me write a song about how I went to the bathroom on myself when I was getting with a girl or when I was playing basketball. So that to me just always threw me for a loop, and I thought it was so strange, but also kind of endearing that rap, and with most of Dead Serious, you know, it's very braggadocio, chest thumping, I'm best, I'm bad, all this stuff, and that's and going to the bathroom on yourself, like Lucy's documents, is the polar opposite of that. And I just always thought it was a rather interesting song topic to explore, but then also to do it in a clever way, to where you're so into the beat and you're so into their style, and it's kind of in the, you know, it's in the middle, toward the middle of the album, so it's kind of like you're like settled into the groove of what D.O.C is doing, but then you're like hit with this story, you're like, oh, they're rapping about a girl, oh, they're rapping about basketball, but then you're like, wait a minute, no, they're not. So that always has just stood out to me, and just a wild song. So I just always liked that one. It's just very different. So that's my 3 picks. You guys got Amir's 3 picks. D.O.C, Dead Serious, a great album. Yeah. Hit us in that comment section. Let us know what you guys like and appreciate about Dead Serious. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
The Great Debaters, y'all. Thanks, Dre and Scoop, for this one, man. Genius.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
What's that 5 on your MTV back with NWA?
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.